Doctors of Reddit, who's the dumbest patient you've ever had? 1. Young couple come in saying they have tried conceiving for almost a year, but she's still not pregnant. I start by taking her patient history. Turns out she's been on the pill for years due to period pain. Redditor, I hope they stay on the pill too. Ophthalmologist here. Patient's eye wasn't getting better, so I asked if he's using his drops in the correct eye. He wasn't. He argued that his right eye is really his left eye because he throws a ball with his left hand. I argued right versus left with him for a good 5 minutes before I gave up. He won the argument. I've had 2 patients who stare at the sun. They both said it's like stargazing because the sun is technically a star. I had a blind patient who was still riding a motorcycle. He rode into a house and had to give up his motorcycle. 3. My sister's a doctor and she saw a patient and prescribed meds. Asked them to come see her a week later as a follow-up. Patient comes back next week saying that they don't feel better at all. Sister asks to see the meds she prescribed to ensure they got the right ones. Patient says they never picked up the meds because they only wanted meds with organic ingredients, not one full of chemicals. 4. Husband comes in with a set of complaints. Sister proceeded to check him out and find that there was nothing wrong with him. That's when he told her that it's actually his wife who had those symptoms. And he never brought her in to get checked. On top of it, he was pissed that the doctor couldn't just fix his wife without seeing her. 5. I discharged a Russian patient after he had been hospitalized for alcohol-induced liver damage. As I was getting him out the door, I impressed upon him the importance of avoiding alcohol and he asked me, sincerely, if vodka was considered alcohol. 6. This doesn't exactly fit the criteria, but it's close. Not a doctor, I'm a nurse. And not a patient. Family members. Back when I still worked in the ICU, I had a family come in during visitation to see their loved one carrying one of those plastic containers from a grocery store bakery with half a dozen cupcakes inside. Not unusual. Families would bring us food all the time and it was incredibly nice and we always appreciated it. Nope. I walked into the room to update them on the patient and we talked about it also being her birthday that day. They gestured toward the cupcakes and said that's why they had the cupcakes with them. I thought that was really sweet. They were going to celebrate her birthday with her even though she was in the ICU. Then they hand me the container and look at me expectantly. I look back, unsure of what my next move was supposed to be. Aren't you going to feed them to her? This woman was on a ventilator and on IV sedation. It took me an embarrassingly long time to explain to these people why she couldn't eat while she was unconscious with a breathing tube in. Nice folks, not terribly bright. 7. In training, had a surgical patient getting toes amputated because of diabetes. All shift he kept getting insulin but his sugars wouldn't come down. Just didn't make sense. Eventually found a lot of candy under his pillow. Not sure if it's dumb or just sad. Maybe bit of both. 8. Radiology told me about handing orange earplugs to a patient for an MRI and he popped them in his mouth and swallowed them. I thought this only happened in TV shows, but one of my sister's friends is a doctor and told us about a teenage girl that came to the ER with abdominal pain. Yes, this is going where you think it's going. When asked, she swore up and down that she couldn't possibly be pregnant. They ran the usual tests, and, wouldn't you know it, the girl was pregnant. She could not believe it. Total denial, but she did not deny having S with her boyfriend. So the doctor, my sister's friend, asked her what birth control they used. Apples. She ate an apple after having S with him.